tonight in Wine News. Several House lawmakers are urging for a thorough investigation into the landslide in Barangay Masara-Maco, Davao de Oro.
Task Force reports the reduced number of provinces affected by the El Niño phenomenon in the country.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, believes the imminent collapse of the Daulah Islamiyah-Maute Group due to a leadership vacuum.
And we will discover why former U.S. President Donald Trump appealed to Supreme Court for immunity amidst election interference case.
Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Tuesday, February 13th, 2024. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. I am Oralyn Quijano.
We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Mavian Dog.
First in the news. Several House lawmakers are now calling for a thorough investigation into the landslide in Barangay Masara-Maco, Davao de Oro. They assert that accountability must be sought from government officials, whether at the local or national level. Their concern stems from the fact that the area affected by the landslide is designated as a no-build zone. Rosalie Cause will tell us why.
ACT-CIS Party List Representative Erwin Tulfo, Davao de Oro Representative Ruel Peter Gonzaga, and 4 other Solons filed House Resolution number 1586, urging the appropriate committee to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation into the landslide in Barangay Masara, Municipality of Maco, Davao de Oro. The said barangay has been designated a no-build zone. However, many residential infrastructures and establishments had been built in the area.
So we really need to investigate kasi nakakapika na, nakakasawa na every time na may ganito trahedya, may investigasyon pero walang napaparusahan. I think we need to do something about it. Kailangan siguro may masampulan. May masampulan na LGU, may masampulan siguro sa DNR or MGB. Tingnan natin kung sino kailangan managot dito.
Makabayan bloc lawmakers filed a similar House resolution. Less than 70 people died from the landslide caused by days of heavy rainfall. House Solons also want to review existing laws and regulations enforced by the Mines and Geosciences Bureau, or MGB. Large-scale mining firms and small-scale mining operations are located in Masara, the landslide-affected area.
We really need to make isang halimbawa rito na may makulong na local government official or official sa national government para masampulan at madala, ayusin ang trabaho.
The House Solons also plan to file complaint before the Office of the Ombudsman regarding the issue. Meanwhile, the House resolution needs to undergo the first reading. It will be referred to the appropriate House committee and scheduled for a hearing. The Congress conducts inquiries and investigations in aid of legislation to address issues and enact legislative measures to protect the welfare of Filipinos. Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Amidst the ongoing hearing concerning the alleged bribery linked to the gathering of signatures for the proposed People's Initiative, senators are questioning the billions of pesos allocated for the assistance to low-income individuals, or the ACAP program of the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD. The agency admitted that they did not request such a program, but the regulations or guidelines related to it are being adjusted. Jed Neresina details why.
Senator Amy Marcos called the project of the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, a magical project in the midst of the hearing related to the alleged bribery linked to the proposed People's Initiative. Along with several other senators, she expressed astonishment at the whooping budget of 26.7 billion pesos allocated for what they termed an unfamiliar assistance program, the ACAP of the DSWD. This raised eyebrows among senators, especially since they were not familiar with the program.
Nagulat din ako sa AKAP at mas lalo akong nagulat sa halaga. 26.7 billion. Isang programa na ngayon ko lang natuklasan at ngayon lang narinig.
Ako rin medyo naging curious sa AKAP, ngayon ko lang narinig eh.
Senate Deputy Majority Leader Joseph Victor J.V. Ejercito asked if this was a project just between the House of Representatives and DSWD because he said the Senate has no idea about it. Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa echoed similar sentiments.
If this WD declares that is foreign to them, saan lang galing itong budget? Baligtad na pala ang budgeting process natin.
Senator Bato wants to clarify if the Congress will be the one to decide about the project to be implemented by the agency. DSWD Undersecretary for Legal Affairs Fatima Aliyah Di Maporo responded saying it is not an exclusive project but a regular project of the agency. The regulations or guidelines related to this is currently being prepared.
Madam Chair, it is not an exclusive project or program for Congress. It will be regular program, but it is technically foreign in the sense that it has no guidelines yet.
Undersecretary Di Maporo admitted that they did not request the said program, but she remained firm that it was not just invented. The DSWD also made sure that they are ready to cooperate with the Senate regarding this, and they are open to any issues related to the project in question. The issue came to light amid allegations of using assistance from the DSWD to persuade people to sign the proposed People's Initiative to amend the Constitution. Jed Neresina, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The Marcos administration assured the public that the government is doing its part to mitigate the effect of El Nino phenomenon. In connection with this, the task force El Nino gave an update on how many provinces may be affected by drought or dry spell. Nel Maribahok reports.
The number of provinces affected by the El Nino phenomenon decreased to 41 from 50. This is according to El Nino Task Force spokesperson and Presidential Communications Office Assistant Secretary Joey Villarama.
A bit of good news. Kung dun sa initial or dun sa last report ng Pag-asa, 50 provinces ang affected. Ngayon ay na-reduce na lang to 41. So we have 17 provinces experiencing dry condition. Meron tayong 10 provinces experiencing dry spell. And then 14 provinces experiencing drought.
Pag-asa defines drought as having 3 consecutive months of way below normal rainfall conditions with over 60% reduction from the average rainfall. It could also be 5 consecutive months of below normal rainfall conditions with 21% to 60% reduction from the average rainfall. Despite the reduction, the task force said preparations still need to be enforced due to strong and mature El Nino that may continue until May. Among the ongoing measures against El Nino, he pointed out, include the ongoing repairs of irrigation systems in affected areas.
In terms of agriculture, for example, there is an ongoing repair of irrigation canals para mas efficient yung pag-supply ng water. And then meron ding inputs and implements for irrigation that are being given to farmers of the most affected areas, which are Region 9 and Region 6. So that's Western Visayas and the Zamboanga Peninsula.
ASEC Villarama emphasized that the task force is committed to carrying out the President's order of taking proactive steps to respond to these unforeseen events. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Department of Justice, or DOJ, is set to oppose any appeal that may be filed regarding the cancellation of former Negros Oriental Representative Arnie Teves' passport. Dante Amento tells us why.
Department of Justice or DOJ spokesman Assistant Secretary Miko Clavado explained the cancellation of former Negros Oriental 3rd District Representative Arnolfo Arnie Teves Jr.'s passport would result in a smaller world for him from the hands of justice. The cancellation bars his right to travel, especially to the other different countries.
Hindi na siya makapaglipat ng bansa pa. This is a very good development for us dahil yun naman talaga ang gusto natin na siguro to come back home and to face the charges like a man.
Hence, the DOJ will allegedly oppose any attempt to reverse the Manila Regional Trial Court's decision to cancel Teves' passport.
Kung umabot man sa Supreme Court, ay i-oppose talaga namin dahil sa tingin ho namin, this is something that we will not let up on. No? Itong kaso na to ay nagpapakita ng impunity sa ating bansa.
The cancellation would be final and executory after 15 days since the court released its order last February 8. The DOJ stands on its ground that Teves Jr. is accountable to the Filipino over the gruesome Pamplona massacre.
Matagal na namin hinihintay itong decision na to. Noong November pa kasi namin final yung motion to cancel the passport of former Congressman Arnolfo Teves.
Recently, Attorney Ferdinand Topacio, lawyer for Teves Jr., said there are still legal remedies available for them and they will resort or utilize all of them. However, Clavano emphasized that the former Solon should be brought in court to face the murder charges against him over the demise of former Governor Ruel Digamo and several civilians. Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Begins to push through a bill comprising a $95.34 billion package aid for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan Monday, February 12th. President Joe Biden urges Congress to hasten the new aid to these countries for months now, along with humanitarian support for Palestinians in Gaza. Following months of delays, the bill will be put to voting this Wednesday after clearing a procedural hurdle in a 67-27 vote. According to Democratic Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, these are high stakes of the national security package and a down payment for the survival of Western democracy and values. He also mentioned that the entire world will remember what the Senate does in the upcoming days. However, the bill must pass the Senate as well as the House. There has been no major Ukraine aid that passed the House since Republicans led the chamber in January 2023. Meanwhile, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham said that portions of the U.S. aid should be converted to loans and not humanitarian aid.
And for the news abroad, former United States President Donald Trump has petitioned the Supreme Court to halt a recent decision by a lower court denying him presidential immunity from prosecution. Trump's legal team contends that he cannot be tried for actions taken during his presidency, particularly amid his ongoing election interference case. Annie Mancilia tells us why live. Yes, Annie, good evening.
Maeve, the disagreement stems from three lower court judges who ruled against Trump, asserting that he can indeed face prosecution like any ordinary citizen. However, Trump's attorneys argue that conducting a lengthy criminal trial during an election campaign season would severely impede his ability to challenge President Biden for the presidency. The Supreme Court must now deliberate on whether to suspend the ruling, which would effectively delay the landmark criminal case alleging Trump's involvement in illegal efforts to overturn the 2020 election, possibly until after the upcoming November election. Whereas if the Supreme Court declines to intervene, the federal trial overseen by Judge Tanya Chutkan could proceed. likely scheduled for the spring as Trump faces multiple criminal trials alongside his bid for the White House. Apart from the election case, Trump faces charges in Georgia related to election result tampering, a 7-count indictment in Florida concerning classified document mishandling post-presidency, and a New York case regarding alleged payment concealment to adult film star Stormy Daniels, where he maintains his innocence across all charges. Trump's legal team has consistently sought to postpone his criminal trials until after the 2024 election. In the federal election interference trial, Trump is charged with 4 counts, including conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding and conspiracy against citizens' rights. Meanwhile, the recent rejection of Trump's immunity claimed by a panel from the D.C. Circuit Court prompted his lawyers to appeal to the Supreme Court, seeking a hold on the lower court's ruling to allow for further review. They argue that denying immunity to a former president would set a dangerous precedent and fundamentally alter the nature of the presidency. The Supreme Court's response could take various forms, from denying Trump's request and resuming the federal trial to considering an expedited appeal or integrating it into its regular schedule. A definite ruling from the Supreme Court on Trump's immunity status remains pending, with uncertainty over the timeline of this decision. Back to you, Maeve.
Thank you, Annie Mancilia, live from Singapore. We'll share more global stories with you later. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. The imminent collapse of the Daulah Islamiyah-Maute Group is reportedly looming due to a leadership vacuum within the local terror group. This development follows the recent killing of key leaders of the group in operations conducted by the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP. Authorities, however, are not discounting the possibility of retaliatory attacks from the terrorists against government forces. JP Nunez details why.
There are alarming signs pointing towards the imminent collapse of the local terrorist group, Daulah Islamiyah-Maute Group. This fate befalls the group in the wake of the recent targeted killings of its top leaders, who were identified as the masterminds behind the bombing at Mindanao State University, or MSU, in December.
The death of At Omar and At Engineer, as well as the surrender of At Katab, brought the DIMG leadership in disarray. They are now in a leadership vacuum.
Among those neutralized in the operations were Saumay Saiden, also known as Omar, who detonated the improvised explosive device, or IED, at MSU, and Abdul Hadi alias Hudi Imam, the group's bomb expert responsible for assembling explosives. As a result of successive operations and relentless pursuit by authorities against the terrorists linked to the MSU bombing, 12 were killed, 3 surrendered, and 3 were arrested. According to the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, these developments significantly diminished the likelihood of the organization's resurgence.
So foremost, when we did the 25 to 26 engagements, we were able to neutralize 9 of them. And out of those 9, 3 doon yung involved sa MSU bombing. And then there were 2 who were wounded, and it turned out that fatal yung wound nung isa, which is yun nga, who was identified later on as At Engineer. And he was also identified by the intelligence gathering and also corroborated by the statement of one of the surrenderies that he succumbed to his wounds.
However, the AFP continues to conduct pursuit operations against remaining members of the Daulah Islamiyah-Maute Group. While the possibility of the group regrouping is becoming less likely, the military is not discounting the potential for retaliatory actions and is preparing accordingly.
sa lahat naman, sir, no, for every operation, of course, we always look at all the angles in any operation. This will always be a possibility, and we will be rest assured that the AFP will be well prepared for any possibility at all.
The AFP's primary objective is to fully dismantle the Daulah Islamiyah-Maute Group. Military forces are closely monitoring all possible exit points that remaining terrorists could exploit. As of now, the situation in Marawi remains stable, with no reported civilian evacuations or casualties. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Reserve Foundation believes that an alleged windmill project in Rizal is a critical threat to biodiversity and 60-million-year-old limestones in the conservation area. Let's turn back to JP Nunez for this report.
Masungi Georeserve Foundation emphasized that the limestones in the conservation area is about 60 million years old. Its historical and cultural value is irreplaceable. Billy Dumaliang, one of the trustees and conservationists of the Masungi, fears that a large-scale project of constructing a windmill in the area is a threat to the limestone. According to Billy, based on their drone surveillance late last year, there are drilling operations in the south portion of the rock formation. It is a project of the Rizal Wind Energy Corporation, which is a subsidiary of a Singapore-based Vina Energy Group, which specializes in constructing renewable sources of energy. Masungi already communicated with the private group. However, they show no interest in leaving the project.
Mayroong planong magtayo ng isang dosenang malalaking wind turbine sa ating Masungi Karst Conservation Area. At nakakapangamba ito dahil sinasabi ng kumpanya na nasa advanced pre-development stage na sila.
Masungi described the project critical threat to the biodiversity in the conservation area, especially to the habitat of animals that are endangered.
Gagawa ka muna ng road network. At para makagawa ka ng road network sa isang kagubatan, kailangan mong magputol ng maraming puno, kailangan mong patagin kung anumang nandoon, kung rocks yan o kaya bundok, para makagawa ka ng vast road networks required to make a wind farm.
In a statement, an official of Vina Energy Group said they are just conducting study to construct wind energy in Tanay Rizal. However, to the Masungi, the study itself should not persist as this will lead to a larger development that will truly destroy the conservation area. They also doubt if the project has a proper environmental compliance certificate or ECC as prerequisite for such operations.
Bawal ang applications. So doon pa lang dapat wala nang kahit study, di ba, or exploration.
JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Various government agencies are urging parents to prioritize children's safety and closely monitor their internet usage to foster a safer online environment. Proclamation number 417 designates every second Tuesday of February as Safer Internet Day for Children. This year's focus is on protecting children from online sexual abuse or exploitation, particularly through the internet. Data reveals alarming trends, with the youngest victim of online sexual abuse recorded at only 3 years old. In response, government agencies such as the Department of Justice, Department of Social Welfare and Development, and the Commission on Human Rights are emphasizing the importance of parental vigilance in safeguarding children from cybercriminals. Parents are strongly encouraged to take proactive measures, including implementing internet or social media breaks for children to ensure their well-being and protection in the digital age.
It's really the parents na merong malaking role pagdating sa pagbantay ng mga bata. Base dun sa aming monitoring sa mga cases na involved, nakakalungkot mang aminin, pero minsan yung iba kasi is magulang pa mismo yung perpetrators. And ang sinasabi nila, ito'y bunsod ng kahirapan. And pangalawa, wala naman daw gaanong impact sa bata kasi pictures lang naman yan or video.
The stance of the Philippine Medical Association or PMA Coalition is resolute and clear. The protection of every Filipino from the harmful effects of marijuana is paramount. Consequently, the coalition staunchly opposes the legalization of medical cannabis in the country. Gladys Tawabi details why.
Groups of medical doctors in the country have expressed their opposition against the legalization of medical cannabis.
Kung hindi natin nakikita ang problem and we focus on medical cannabis, then we will be the Colombia of Southeast Asia. We will be the ones exporting this. In this time na dinidiscuss ang cocaine and fentanyl, and then idadagdal mo medical marijuana, what has come to this country?
The Philippine Medical Association or PMA Coalition has emphasized the harmful effects of using marijuana.
Gusto kong i-stress na yung marijuana is a dangerous drug. Ito ay nakakaapekto sa pag-iisip ng isang tao. Sa mga kabataan, ang paggamit ng marijuana ay maaaring panimulan ng ibang bisyo sa ibang droga tulad ng shabu at alak.
According to the group, using marijuana as a medicine is not totally safe, citing its side effects, adding that it can cause heart disease, stroke, and vein blockage. Marijuana can also affect the development of a child of a pregnant woman and may affect the mental health condition of an individual.
Cannabis use is likely to increase the risk of developing schizophrenia and psychosis. Yung may mga tamang hinala, yung mga may naririnig po na kakaiba or may nakikita na wala dyan po. Regular or near daily cannabis use can also lead to greater symptoms of bipolar disorder. Heavy cannabis users are also more likely to report thoughts of hurting themselves or thoughts of suicide. And regular cannabis use is likely to increase the risk of developing social anxiety disorder.
PMA added when adverse effect occurs, doctor who prescribed the use of marijuana will be held accountable.
Doktor, accountable. Yung nag-prescribe, kunyari namatay yung pasyente doon, ang doktor pa rin yung responsable. Maaring mawalan siya ng lisensya. Lalo na kung magdidemanda ang pasyente.
Gladys Tawabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Department of Health has acknowledged the significance of the step towards legalizing medical cannabis use in the country. In a statement, the department clarified that this move is distinct from recreational marijuana use. It emphasized that any decision regarding medical cannabis should be grounded in scientific evidence, considering its potential public health impact and cost effectiveness. Additionally, the department highlighted the importance of regulatory capacity across all involved government agencies. However, the department made it clear that it does not support the cultivation of cannabis plants or the manufacture of cannabis products. In light of this development, the public is reminded that the use of marijuana remains punishable by law unless granted a compassionate special permit.
News. Israel frees Israel-Argentine hostages captured on October 7th, but the rescue operation killed more Palestinians, raising the death toll. Paul Gatchalian tells us why.
Yesterday, February 12, two Israeli-Argentine hostages held by Hamas have been freed by Israel after a rescue operation in southern Gaza which took the lives of 74 Palestinians. The operation has long been planned, according to Lieutenant Colonel Richard Hecht, who stressed the importance of waiting for favorable conditions with relatives of the hostages, describing them to be thin and frail. The hostages were held captive on the second floor of a building which was breached with explosives during the raid amid intense gunfire exchanges with nearby structures. Since October 7, there was over 250 hostages during the Hamas raid, and since then, 31 of those hostages have lost their lives. But the recent rescue has made Israel more confident about their military proceedings. Meanwhile, airstrikes have targeted infrastructure in the city of Rafah, and many Palestinians are now fearing that Israel has initiated a ground offensive which has been long expected. Paul Gatchalian, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe.
The Members Church of God International, or MCGI, swiftly responded to a simple request from the police in Bulacan. According to them, even the simplest gestures they receive are touching, as they reflect the care and concern of our fellow countrymen whom they serve. Kath Dumaraos reports.
Yung request ko na bulkap para sa aking mga kapulisan ay natupad. Nai-award na lahat yung mga bulkap na request ko. Hindi lang doon sa mga personnel ko na officers, kundi pati yung mga PNCOs na bigyan lahat. Tuwang-tuwa ang ating kapulisan dito sa Bulacan.
The plea of the police in Bulacan for new bull caps has been swiftly answered, as within just a week of signing the Memorandum of Understanding, Members Church of God International, or MCGI, UNTV, and Bulacan PNP came together to fulfill their request. During the flag-raising ceremony at Bulacan PNP, MCGI completed the delivery of 200 new bull caps for the dedicated law enforcement officers in the province.
Dala-dala nila yon sa buong buhay nila, yung bull cap na yon. Pati pag-retire nila, sigurado ako. Meron po akong natanggap at tuwang-tuwa nga ako at nabigyan din ako bilang provincial director. Malaking bagay po yun. Buhay ko, after my retirement, makikita ko yung bull cap na yon at maalala ko si Kuya Daniel Rason ng members of Church of God International.
Aside from the personnel at Camp Alejo Santos, all the chiefs of police in Bulacan also received bull caps along with groceries to augment their everyday needs. For the police force, such acts of kindness from their fellow countrymen deeply touch their hearts.
Talagang nakaka-touch po yung mga ganong gesture, simple gestures po yung mga ganon. Not only chief of police, even po yung ating mga PNCOs, nakatanggap din po sila ng ball cap, which is very, para po bang talagang naalala kami personal, dahil yun syempre yun ang ginagamit namin araw-araw in the performance of our duty. So maraming salamat sa pag-alala nyo po sa amin, sa Philippine National Police. MCGI, you truly care. Maraming salamat po sa inyo.
Kami po ang madalas or most of the time na talagang nagbibigay sa ating mga kababayan, especially yung mga nangangailangan. But this time, very heartwarming, sir, kasi kami po ang naging beneficiary this time. Talagang iba po sa pakiramdam namin na kami din po ay pinapahalagahan ng katulad po ng MCGI.
Meanwhile, nebulizers and wheelchairs have also been provided to other police officers, catering to the health needs of their loved ones. Additionally, complimentary breakfast has been arranged for them.
Mahirap po kasi para sa amin, syempre pag sinabing PNP, may mga kaya na yan, may mga sahod na yan, pero iba pa rin po yung nakikita nyo pa rin po kami, nararamdaman nyo pa rin po kung ano yung pangangailangan ng kapulisan. Kasi po syempre, lalo po sa medical, minsan hindi na nakakapagpa-check up yung kapulisan kasi trabaho ng trabaho, kaya malaking tulong po para sa amin na napuntahan po kami. Kaloob po kayo ng Panginoon, ginawa pong kayong daan ng Panginoon para matulungan ang bawat isa sa amin.
Bilang pong isang pulis ng Bulacan PPO, talagang ramdam po namin ang pagmamahal at pag-aaruga ng MCGI sa Bulacan Police. Bali po, dito ko lang po naramdaman na dati po kami lang po yung tumutulong sa mga tao, pero dito po sa MCGI, kami po ang unang tinutulungan, mga kapulisan po mismo ang unang tinutulungan. At katulad po nito, namigay po sila ng libreng bullcap at may pagkain po sila. Sobrang na-surprise po ang kapulisan kasi sanay po kami na kami po yung nagbibigay. Parang kakaiba din po palang pakiramdam na kami yung nakakatanggap.
Kuya Daniel Razon advises everyone to seize every opportunity to do good to others and show compassion, as it is part of God's commandments for those who acknowledge the Almighty.
Ito po'y obligasyon, and this is one of the reasons why we deemed it necessary para po sa amin na sundin yung aral na sinasabi ng Diyos na maging pananagutan ng bawat isang kumikilala sa salita ng Diyos na kung merong kang kakayahan, merong kang magagawa, nakikita mo ang kapatid mo na nangangailangan, huwag mong ipagkakait ang iyong awa. Sapagkat hindi ka pananahanan ng pag-ibig ng Diyos kapag ka pinagkaitan mo ng awa, yung nangangailangan ng awa, kung mayroon ka namang magagawa. Ang sabi po doon sa Santiago 2:13, walang awa. Walang awa sa hindi nagpakita ng awa. Kung ibig natin tayo'y kaawaan, matuto tayong maawa.
Kat Numaraos, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
As the world faces these trying times, amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
Before we close, we will leave you with the word giving glory to God from the book of Psalms chapter 25 verse 10. It says, "All the paths of the Lord are mercy and truth unto such as keep his covenant and his testimonies." And those are the reasons behind the news, February 13, 2024. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. I am Maven Dog, live from Australia.
Because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am Oralyn Quijano, live from Toronto, Canada. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
we really need to investigate kasi nakakapika na, nakakasawa na every time na may ganito trahedya, may investigasyon pero walang napaparusahan. I think we need to do something about it. Kailangan siguro may masampulan na LGU, may masampulan siguro sa DNR or MGB. Tingnan natin kung sino kailangan managot dito.
Nagulat din ako sa AKAP at mas lalo akong nagulat sa halaga. 26.7 billion. Isang programa na ngayon ko lang natuklasan at ngayon lang narinig.
Ako rin medyo naging curious sa AKAP, ngayon ko lang narinig eh. If this WD declares that is foreign to them, saan lang galing itong budget? Baliktad na pala ang budgeting process natin.
A bit of good news. Kung dun sa initial or dun sa last report ng Pag-asa, 50 provinces ang affected. Ngayon ay na-reduce na lang to 41. So we have 17 provinces experiencing dry condition. Meron tayong 10 provinces experiencing dry spell. And then 14 provinces experiencing drought.
Hindi na siya makapaglipat ng bansa pa. This is a very good development for us dahil yun naman talaga ang gusto natin na siguro to come back home and to face the charges like a man. Matagal na namin hinihintay itong decision na to. Noong November pa kasi namin final yung motion to cancel the passport of former Congressman Arnie Teves.
The death of At Omar and At Engineer, as well as the surrender of At Katab, brought the DIMG leadership in disarray. They are now in a leadership vacuum. Sa lahat naman, sir, no, for every operation, of course, we always look at all the angles in any operation. This will always be a possibility, and we will be rest assured that the AFP will be well prepared for any possibility at all.
Mayroong planong magtayo ng isang dosenang malalaking wind turbine sa ating Masungi Karst Conservation Area. At nakakapangamba ito dahil sinasabi ng kumpanya na nasa advanced pre-development stage na sila.
It's really the parents na merong malaking role pagdating sa pagbantay ng mga bata. Base dun sa aming monitoring sa mga cases na involved, nakakalungkot mang aminin pero minsan yung iba kasi is magulang pa mismo yung perpetrators. And ang sinasabi nila, ito'y bunsod ng kahirapan, and pangalawa, wala naman daw gaanong impact sa bata kasi pictures lang naman yan or video.
Kung hindi natin nakikita ang problem and we focus on medical cannabis, then we will be the Colombia of Southeast Asia. We will be the ones exporting this. In this time na dinidiscuss ang cocaine and fentanyl, and then idadagdal mo medical marijuana, what has come to this country?
Ito po'y obligasyon, and this is one of the reasons why we deemed it necessary para po sa amin na sundin yung aral na sinasabi ng Diyos na maging pananagutan ng bawat isang kumikilala sa salita ng Diyos na kung merong kang kakayahan, merong kang magagawa, nakikita mo ang kapatid mo na nangangailangan, huwag mong ipagkakait ang iyong awa. Sapagkat hindi ka pananahanan ng pag-ibig ng Diyos kapag ka pinagkaitan mo ng awa, yung nangangailangan ng awa, kung mayroon ka namang magagawa. Ang sabi po doon sa Santiago 2:13, walang awa. Walang awa sa hindi nagpakita ng awa. Kung ibig natin tayo'y kaawaan, matuto tayong maawa.